When it comes to traditional medicine, many people still think that is something we should leave behind and focus on modern medicine, inventing new drugs and medicines for treating different conditions. There are two funny things about this. Firstly, traditional medicine has been around for centuries, treating different kinds of diseases and conditions, and even though modern medicine doesn't want to give it some credit, they're still bringing back to life some of the oldest and somehow weirdest ways to treat conditions like leeches. And secondly, many pharmaceutical drugs are actually inspired or made by different compounds of plants that have been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years. Ashwagandha is one of the most well-known and used plants in Ayurveda, traditional Indian medicine, for a variety of purposes, including stress and anxiety reduction. And no, the benefits are not only anecdotal, they are also based on modern clinical trials. So, what are those benefits of ashwagandha? Is it worth supplementing it? Are there any side effects? Ashwagandha is the queen of Ayurvedic herbs. Its name means the smell of a horse, which applies to both the smell of the plant and the potential benefit to increase strength. In more modern terms, ashwagandha is known as one of the most well-researched adaptogen herbs. Adaptogens are natural substances like herbs that can help us adapt and manage stress better. We'll get back to the benefits of adaptogens a little bit later on. First, let's explain what happens when we are stressed and how adaptogens work to understand the potential benefits we can get from them. Now, when you're stressed, your body releases a stress hormone called cortisol, which helps you get your fight or flight response mode on. It helps you fight the perceived emergency or flight the potential danger. You know, running away as fast as we can when someone starts chewing in the middle of a family dinner. It's called misophonia, Bob, and yes, it's a real thing. Anyway, stressful situations from heavy workload, a lot of deadlines and meetings, to struggling to balance work and personal life, and chewing, yes, chewing, impact us both physically and emotionally. And the problem with stress is that too much cortisol and too long fight or flight response mode turn on can compromise our immune system and lead to burnout, cardiovascular disease, chronic illnesses, anxiety, and even depression. So, how can adaptogens like ashwagandha help? What are its benefits? Now, ashwagandha contains a high number of special compounds called withanolides that have a positive effect on different systems in our body. Now, in general, studies show that supplementing ashwagandha may decrease inflammation in the body and reduce the stress and symptoms of anxiety and even depression. It can also improve the quality of our sleep, lower blood pressure and blood sugar levels, as well as contribute to longevity while fighting off oxidative stress, often linked to many chronic diseases. The first well-known benefit of adaptogens, yes, ashwagandha included, is that it helps us cope with stress better. Now, the more a situation is stressful for us, the more cortisol our body is releasing and the more anxious and overwhelmed we feel. Ashwagandha reduces cortisol levels and helps us cope and resist stress for a longer period, and so it prevents exhaustion, which is often the side effect of too much stress. Now, the studies show that many benefits of ashwagandha are actually correlated with ashwagandha's ability to decrease inflammation in the body and also in the brain. Now, studies show that consistent inflammation in the brain, called neuroinflammation, is involved in experiencing symptoms of anxiety and depression. The biology behind this claim involves C-reactive protein, an inflammatory marker. Now, increasing levels of C-reactive protein are not only associated with an inflammatory response, but also with a higher risk for symptoms of anxiety and depression. In one specific clinical study, adults who experienced stress but were otherwise healthy supplemented 125 to 250 milligrams of ashwagandha for 60 days, and the results were very impressive. The results showed a significant reduction in C-reactive protein and anxiety symptoms in those who took ashwagandha compared to the placebo group. One interesting study also showed that 300 milligrams of ashwagandha taken for 60 days also improved the social functioning of individuals. Now, this shows promising benefits also for those with social anxiety. Now, because of the mentioned abilities of ashwagandha to decrease stress and anxiety symptoms, supplementing ashwagandha can also improve the quality of our sleep and shows promising benefits, especially for those dealing with insomnia. Now, some people also report better sleep if they take ashwagandha right before going to bed. As mentioned, stress affects us physically too, so ashwagandha, through decreasing stress, also decreases some of the physical symptoms of stress. Now, studies especially show lower blood pressure and blood sugar levels in those supplementing ashwagandha. How about the optimal dosage of ashwagandha? Well, the optimal dosage that has been shown to be effective in the studies is 300 to 500 milligrams of ashwagandha root extract, taken either with a meal or on an empty stomach. You can try it out to see what works the best for you. Now, one thing that I need to point out is that you can't expect totally chill vibes immediately after you take ashwagandha. Or can you? Talk about the safety aspects of supplementing ashwagandha. Now, ashwagandha is safe for a majority of people. A review of 69 studies, including clinical trials, has shown that ashwagandha seems safe and also effective for managing different conditions, including stress and anxiety symptoms, as well as insomnia. But ashwagandha is not all sunshine and rainbows for all people. Even though there are not many side effects reported, there are still some people who experience gastrointestinal discomfort, diarrhea, or even sleepiness.